an algo trader. What's up, Ricky? That's a good question. You can, that's not the main topic of today's video, but you can trade algorithms online, and if you do well, you'll sometimes get a job offer. Algo trading, get funded. Let's see. Yeah, Trade the Pool, I think, does this. Funded Trader. So search around for traded funding accounts. Prop firm. I'm not saying this is a particularly good one, but this is the thing that I'm talking about, which is a prop firm. So you try to trade, and if you do a good job, they will fund you, and then you can even get a job out of that. Okay, hey everyone, thanks for joining. My name is John. I'm a software engineer with about 10 years of experience. I am the lead maintainer of 2 open source projects of interest for today's stream. One is Aria's Tale, ariastale.com. The other is Latterly, latterly.io. So the Latterly community, Aria's Tale is a pet project of the Latterly community. Latterly itself is a platform that helps you network, learn to code. It gives you a standard checklist that will lead you to your first programming role. So here's the checklist, step by step by step. There's also an advanced checklist available if you pay what you can, and you get even more benefits at the premium tier. Aria's Tale is an emergent RPG experience, socially driven, so you can play by post, play by comment. And yeah, here's the quick start guide and the game guide. This was just released today, so it'll walk you through how to play. This is open source, and I can see it could use some style improvements. So feel free to submit a pull request. I'll probably go make these headings stand out. They're not standing out very much, are they? Okay, so how does Aria's Tale relate to what we're doing today? What we're doing today is video eval, AI video eval. Aria's Tale relates because it provides the source material. So we are doing text to video, and we would like to evaluate making an Aria's Tale movie, basically. The entire concept of Aria's Tale is to be a generative AI experiment. So it's a game played with large language models and multimodal models like GPT-4. So it is built from the ground up to be AI test fodder, basically. An example of this would be there are metagame instructions. And you can see this file is just meant to be pasted as contextual priming into GPT-4. Let me also make sure I open up the chat so I don't miss YouTube or anything. And there are some images already having been generated from a variety of sources, including Leonardo. Today we'll be using Leonardo Motion, which is a video tool that I haven't tried. Am I getting some lag or what's going on? Oh, and I'm not sharing my screen. That's pretty bad. Picture in picture. Okay, so here's the metagame file in the Aria's Tale open source repository that I was saying is meant to be pasted into the GPT-4 context window. And let me show you some of the pictures that I was referring to. So these will be in the game images. We can look at the canon. There's some bloopers as well. Those are pretty funny. Let's look at some of the episodic pictures. And we will be making siblings to these, basically. So the same thing that's captured here in the picture will be prompting for video. So in the first chapter, there is an elven rogue called Eidolon who encounters and defeats a plant monster, ultimately defeating it using the ancestral strike or something like that. It's like a magically empowered bow shot. And the narrative is written out in this narrative markdown file, which is included in the docs. Here's that quick start guide, ariastail.com. Okay, so we're closing that. We know how Laterally and Aria's tail are related. So let's get into the video tools. First up, Google VideoPoet. Heard about VideoPoet today. I was so excited. I said, I'm doing an AI text to video stream anyway. Let's throw this in the mix. And I was disappointed to learn that you cannot use it today. So here we have dataeconomy.com saying, unfortunately, VideoPoet isn't publicly available yet as a source. Here is the VideoPoet site for Google. And relating to Aria's tail, probably the most related video that I found is this video, a very sharp, low-angle photo of an elven city of stone in the jungle, brilliant blue river, waterfall, and so on. It's extremely detailed. It doesn't demonstrate smudging or distortion, but it could be cherry-picked. In fact, all these videos could be cherry-picked. There are many videos that might give you the illusion that they're not cherry-picked, but the fact is we can't evaluate it ourselves. Still, this looks great. This looks great. And it followed the instructions very well, didn't it? So that's as much as we're going to get to see about VideoPoet. I'll also mention this previous stream where we looked at Decohere and some other tools, and we identified Runway ML as the reigning champion. This will be linked in the description. And so we are also going to use Runway ML, which is right here, the reigning champ. We're going to compare that against the new contenders. Runway ML, you can see, allows us to do start with image or text to image. We're going to be baselining on text to image. If we have time, we'll do the other as well. But we're going to baseline on text to image because it's supported across these tools. The other two are Pika Labs and Leonardo. I already use Leonardo. It's a fantastic tool. I use it for image generation. And it often does a better job than the DALL-E, which is built into GPT-4. And they have a free tier. Highly recommend Leonardo AI. But they have more than image generation. They have this real-time canvas, transform your sketches into art in real time. The canvas editor is super cool. You can do outpainting and sort of like put in a picture and then zoom out and let the AI do the zoom out for you. That's awesome. We might use that for Aria's tail as well. So we have some maps. And we might take that map and zoom out to get a view of the surrounding area. You can also, let me just click in here briefly. You could put 2 or 3 maps in there and put some space between them and let the AI figure out how to draw them together. That would be extremely useful because I do have fragmented regional maps. If we look into the images, we can see that we have these regional maps, but they're not contiguous. So how do I stitch them together? It would be fantastic if I could get AI to do that for me. All right, on to the prompting. So we have all the background down. On to the prompting. So we're going to go to narrative. We're going to go to the chapter 1. And let's draw a prompt. In the fantasy MMORPG Evergreen, 3 distinct characters begin their adventure in the Forest of Echoes. The narrative takes a dramatic turn when Mike, attempting to log out for a pizza delivery, discovers he's unable to exit the game. Simultaneously, the in-game sky darkens and turns to a burnt orange, heralding the appearance of a massive ethereal figure in the sky. Okay, so this would be the first block that I would want to prompt. And maybe it's too big and maybe it's not. Let's find out. Describe your story. The narrative takes a dramatic turn when Mike, it cuts it off. Let's see. Does that also have for motion? Simply click the image to motion button on any image. Ah, okay. So it is an image to motion. Does Pika have an image to motion? Motion control parameters, video options, image. So we can try out both. So we'll start with an image then. Let's go image generation. And this whole thing fits. This whole thing fits for, shout out to Grammarly for the grammar assist. So the entire prompt fits with Leonardo. Let's go ahead and try it. I don't think that this is a very good prompt, but maybe just for the sake of, Ease of reproduction. We can go this way. Leonardo Vision XL. Why not? Leonardo has many models on the platform, so one would want to tinker to find the best of Leonardo, but this is a fair enough baseline. Okay, so here we have an image. There's no ethereal figure in the sky being drawn here, so one must wonder, what is it actually drawing? Let's rephrase it. Let's try to truncate this so that it fits in Pika. In the fantasy MMORPG, so we can just say I don't think it needs to know the name of the MMO. In a fantasy MMORPG, the three characters might be throwing it off if it's focusing on those. So we'll just say characters begin their adventure in the Forest of Echoes. We can really cut it down in here. We can say one day. And let me go ahead and put this in the markdown file as a comment to see if we can easily reproduce that prompt. Okay. Now let's try to generate this way. I want to see the figure in the sky, basically. There's a TikTok video. I used DALL-E to prompt this. Let's go to Aria's tail. The TikTok Aria's tail. It's the official TikTok right here. Spun this up a couple days ago. And here we can see an image that I quite like of the ethereal figure. This one I quite like. Here, I'll even screenshot this. No, I won't. We can go to ChatGPT and get the source. And so we can demo mixing and matching as well. This is looking much, much better, isn't it? The interesting thing here is that it seems to show like a tower in the background. Okay, let's do one more. Instead of Vision XL, let's go for Diffusion XL. For the purpose of video, though, these might be fine, and the tinkering can happen later. We can also use that source that I referred to. So where is the... I might have a reference to it in my README. Here we look for Aria's arc, which is also called, Towns, Leaves, and Squirrels arc. That should be it should match the chapter 2 name. Of Leaves, Town, and Squirrels. Of Leaves, Town, and Squirrels. So one of the characters encounters a giant squirrel, and then Leaves refers to the forest, and then there's a single town. Thanks for joining. So it's going to be one of these that will have that picture, I think. You can see we have some of the generated image there. Maybe it was just the one. Actually, no, I don't think it's going to be in these. I think it's going to be in the Lunara arc. Lunara arc. I think I was, because this common core happens in all the arcs, which is that they all see the monster show up in the sky, basically. All right, let's not dwell on this too much. Of an Archer stat sheet. Look in one more place if this can't find it. Ah, there it is. Okay, so here is the actual image. So we get a downloaded copy of that. Dude, I'd like to lay down some game logic. Most of the time you're in MD files. No, we're not coding right now. We're doing video eval. So we can do game logic. I don't know. That sort of misunderstands the way that Aria's Tale works. I'm not like developing my own game engine or anything like that. So I'm using generative AI tools to build a game. All right, so here's the third attempt with Leonardo. This looks really cool. This is not a figure in the sky. This is like a tower. But we can use it for the purposes of video. That's fine. Here, maybe I should say ethereal monster in the sky. But anyway, we can proceed with one of these. These are some cool looking towers. Maybe we should use some of these. I'll go with the left because it's... Which of these is more foresty? On the left, we have trees, more trees on the bottom. On the right, there's more trees at the top. Okay. Whoa, that looks awesome. I'll go with the left one, unless chat has another preference. Let me go with this left one. This looks super awesome. And what I want to do is turn this into video. So first of all, let's download that. Maybe we will use that guy. He doesn't look anything like the DALL-E representation. So this one is more ethereal, right? But this one's, the rule of cool may win. Now let's go for generate motion. Motion strength, sure. Default is 5. Let's try 5. 25 tokens to video, understandably expensive. And then we'll come over here and we'll use, first of all, the same text. So we'll do text to video, and then we will try image to video. So we may be noticing a limitation already. In Leonardo, is there a place to upload my image? I'm not sure that I'm seeing that. Maybe I can use the canvas. So on the canvas, you can upload your own image. One, two, three, four. So it's still following this very common thing in the world of video AI, which is that these clips last 4 to 6 seconds. This is, and you can see here's Runway ML generates 4 seconds, and then you can add on another seconds, getting up to 8 seconds, which doesn't sound like much, but it makes it longer than the other tools out there. And you may be able to extend further to 12, but distortion starts to kick in pretty bad. Okay, so this is sort of, I would say, fine. Particularly if you're doing a video with a bunch of jump cuts, this style is sort of fine, but I don't think it's particularly good. Let's see. Do we want to try the other guy too? The other guy kind of looks like he has a door under him, or just 2 legs. I mean, you could interpret it either way. Let's go back to one of these and do this one. Here I will max out the motion, and then we'll do one where I min out the motion. If we're going tower, let's go tower. Let's get one of these enormous, crazy towers, and we can just maybe use that for a totally different game setting. How about this one? How about this one? Why not? So here we will minimize the motion. And that's going to pretty much spend our tokens. All right, here is the maxed out motion, and we can see a black wisp in the upper right. So I think we're really seeing the problem of maxing out motion is that it just looks too crazy, doesn't it? Things start turning into wisps. Okay, now we go over to Runway ML. Is this ready? Here we go. Who knows what's going on here? This is like, I really have no idea what's going on here. Do you? Okay. That's something. Oh, and it did truncate the, our prompt got truncated here at 320 characters. I don't think this looks particularly good either. The character is not moving at all. It looks like a frozen image. And it sort of just looks like flickering on the screen, like I'm watching a 1980s TV and I'm trying to watch cable and it just sort of pops around the screen. So I think what we're learning is don't min or max out the motion. 5 seems to be pretty good. Look, the default was 5 and it seems to be reasonably good. Okay, let's come over to Pika Labs. Can it fit this prompt? 100th floor boss must be defeated. Okay, so it can. So let's do this. And we can see that on that basis, it takes a larger text prompt than does Runway. It takes a larger text prompt. Thanks for being here, y'all. If you're liking the video, throw a like on it so that TikTok will send it around the algorithm. Let's see. Let's try to fix up this prompt so that it's not truncated. In a fantasy MMO RPG, characters play. Characters. Let's just go with one of them. An elven rogue. So we'll go with Eidolon. An elven rogue browses the Forest of Echoes, and we can just say a forest. An elven rogue searches a forest. One day, and I don't even need to say one day, do I? I can say the sky darkens. The sky darkens to a burnt orange, heralding. The sky darkens to a burnt orange, and a massive ethereal monster appears in the sky. Let's just go with that. That's even more minimalist, and I think it gets to the heart of what we want to visualize, eh? Let's go ahead and generate an image just because we have some spare tokens. I might be able to squeeze out one more video out of Leonardo. Okay, so we're over here. Let's generate Runway with the non-truncated. Okay, oh, look at this crazy thing Pika did. Whoa. That looks awesome. It also looks crazy. What is that? It's not exactly an ethereal. Yeah, it's not an ethereal monster either. And it catches on fire. It looks really cool, though, whatever it is. I kind of want to include that in the game, too. Let's use the reduced prompt over here. And then we can go image to video as well. So, ooh, this is like a dragon head. Is this an ethereal monster? Kind of. I mean, the body sort of vanishes into fire. Why are they all going for fire? Oh, is it just because it's burnt orange is the idea, I guess. Chat, let me know if you have a preference on this. Should I try the left or the right? The left or the right? While you're thinking over that, I'll come over here and see if our new video, okay, we're at 77%. These do process faster if you pay, so I'm using the free tier. So Runway ML is not particularly slow, but the free tier is a bit slower. This looks much better of a start, doesn't it? Yeah, buddy. That looks awesome. That's legitimately good enough. I want to use it in the, okay. How's the result? It's fantastic. It's legitimately good enough that I actually want to use it. Runway ML, the reigning champ, and now you can see why. I don't know what this was. I'm going to chalk that up to the truncated prompt. All right, so let's extend this. Chat, we decide on the left or the right out of these. Any preference? And then let's check this out. So now with the reduced prompt, I think it is fairly clearly an elven rogue walking through the forest. I see no ethereal figure, no turning orange. We have the ability to add 4 seconds here, so that's cool. That would make it 3 to 7, so it's still not seeing the Runway ML 8, but it's very cool that we can beat the sort of industry standard 4 to 6. That's very cool. I want to try out all these options. Okay, what I'm worried about is if I retry, is it going to steamroll this one? I hope not. Let's just click retry. Oh, okay, I can still access that version. Why not retry both then? Okay, so those are retrying. Thanks for doing this. Coco Nito, thank you so much for being here. You're very welcome. Tap the screen and like the video. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pick the left hand here. You know what? I lied to you. I'm going to try one more image prompt, which is a different chapter 2, basically. I want to see the squirrel. Tank shelters for a while in the safe portion of the forest. So we will prompt off of this. I want to create sort of like an image prompt book. So this will say a warrior without a helmet. A warrior without a helmet encounters an enormous squirrel monster. I think we can just get away with that prompt. This should be fun. Let's see what we get out of this. Thank you for the rose. Thank you so much. Can I like my own video? I don't know if the algorithm actually uses that. Okay. Oh, wow, that generated so quickly. It's just image. This is so good, dude. The unexpectedly large squirrel is one of my favorite things of the generative AI of Aria's Tale. So we're playing a game session. And I think I prompted it something like a larger than average squirrel. So the idea being that this is actually going to be something that puts up a fight. It was supposed to be like a level 1 or 2 monster, but I wanted it to be like not a normal squirrel, a slightly larger than average squirrel. Not only, so what DALL-E created as a result was not only bigger than average, it was bigger than the tank warrior, which was unexpected, but technically it didn't violate the prompt, right? And it was like wearing armor and had a shield and stuff. I'm like, what on earth, dude? Like, I didn't specify that, but I also didn't ban it either. Saya, thanks for the likes. So these both look so good. I'm going to prefer the left hand because the right hand seems to have like a secondary little squirrel that we don't want. So we're going to prefer this left hand. And let's put some motion in the ocean, babe. All right, chat. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Do we video the squirrel or do we video this sort of like dragon thing in the forest? Let's give it 10 seconds in case we get any feedback. Dragon. Ooh, okay. Good thing I waited for the feedback. I was about to go squirrel. We got 2 for dragon. All right, let's do dragon. Thanks for participating. And that will be, now we only have 2 daily tokens. These do refresh daily. So I can tinker some more tomorrow, but for the purpose of today, that's going to be it. Here we are with the, do we have the 8-second video now? Extend, oh, did I never click the button? I feel really foolish for that. Okay. So the extension is in progress. The dragon is in progress. And let's see if these have come back now. So we started here with this elven rogue in the forest. That's working fairly enough. And now we have this one. Surprisingly good detail on the face. I'm realizing now I should have said a male elven rogues. This elven rogue looks female, doesn't it? On the right here, it arguably looks closer to what we want. Definitely compared to what was there before. Gosh. None of it is really what we want, though, is it? Okay. Let's do one more. Here I will prompt a male elven rogue, and I will say anime art style. Let's see if it can respect the art style. Let's check out this video up to 8 seconds from Runway ML. We have the orange sky, and I want to see the monster pop up ideally. We don't really get it, do we? She's just sort of looking around the orange sky. That's okay. Let's do a new video. The only problem with it is that it didn't really follow the prompt. Let's do this one. Hopefully has an anime art style. And then we'll move over to the image to video. This is not, I don't think, a particularly good video. It sort of just looks at a wall. It changes the camera to the left to look at a wall. So Leonardo Motion is, in my opinion, frankly, just losing. It's just losing to Runway. Pika is an interesting case. It seems to have very high render quality, but not particularly good instruction following. Here's another interesting case. The base image does have an anime art style, but the thing is not moving, right? So we'll retry on that. And then let's also prompt for the squirrel. So we're going to come over here and prompt for a squirrel. Let's do a comic book art style. Cue those up. And we're basically, I would say, done with Leonardo. So the best we got from Leonardo, I think this is still the best one. And as much as I love Leonardo, this looks more like a really good image generation platform that can add motion to your image, but it's not really a like a first-class video making tool. I think I already downloaded this, but let's click it again just to be safe. download these things. We can download the dragon head, download the squirrel, and close out Leonardo, and we're done. So now we are just comparing Pika to Runway, and we want to check out the image to video. Let's take a look at this thing first of all. So this, once again, Runway is just mopping the floor, isn't it? And now the character on the right is doing a lot of movement, and it's not distorted. It's not distorted. This looks like a burning Trent, like a Treant, or a fire elemental, more than an ethereal figure in the sky. But I'm still here for it. Let's go for the squirrel prompt over here. Oh, let me give it one more, anime art style. So I'll give it that same prompt with an anime art style. Okay, that's in progress. We'll go over here. A warrior without a helmet encounters an enormous squirrel monster. We'll do one with anime art style, and then we'll do one that is live action video style. Live action film style. Okay, so got those queued up. Let's take a look at this stuff it made. So a warrior without a helmet encounters an enormous squirrel monster. And yeah, I think that counts as an enormous squirrel monster. This is the first one, interestingly enough, that hasn't had like armor and a shield and stuff. I think this one is fairly good. Let's see if we can add 4 seconds and see what happens. A warrior without a helmet encounters an enormous squirrel, comic book art style. This is a weird one. So we get a flash of sort of strange content here. This is a comic book art style. It looks like the warrior has a tail. So let's retry that. And then the, what is your background like? Are you an ML engineer? Oh, no, I'm a software engineer. I'm a software engineer. I just have an interest in this sort of thing. So this does look like anime, and they're looking at the sky, so that's really cool. But it's not burnt orange. But this is probably the best one I've seen from Pika so far. If we were to, for the narrative's sake, waive the fact that the sky needs to be burnt orange, you could say, like, but also there's no figure coming out of the sky. Let's extend it. Let's extend it and see if we can get it to have a monster pop out of the sky. I also want to try this upscaling. Maybe with this one. Maybe with this one we try upscaling. Ooh, okay, we got another render ready. I just don't know what's going on there. Does that look like a squirrel monster to you? It's comic book art style. I don't really think that's a squirrel, though. So it seems like comic book art style is difficult. Sample size of 2, not a particularly good sample size, right? All right, here's a longer one. That's kind of cool. It got some more motion, and it's fairly realistic. He's like gonna claw at him. Let's see if we can upscale this one. And then we'll retry this one. Let's give that comic book one more try. And we'll give the anime style one more try to get the sky orange. Okay, in the meantime, here is Runway ML with the squirrel monster. Wow, it's like ripping. It's actually ripping. It's actually like hurting this guy. On the left is what? An additional squirrel. It's like a strangely humanoid squirrel that also has some bat-like appearance. So this artifact on the left is strange to me. Wow, bro, you code this? Looks nice. I do not code this. We are evaluating video AI. I have not created this. Squirrel looks like a squirrel. There's some distortion on the face as it turns its head. It's fair. Let's look at this one. A warrior without a helmet. So this is the... Oh, is this supposed to be the anime style? Because it's definitely not. It's definitely not anime style. Let's do one more that says anime art style. So this is the one that said live action style. And it does have a live action style, but there's a lot of aberration going on. So the face of the squirrel mutates. I told the thing that the warrior didn't have a helmet. It gave it like a, what is that, painter's hat? Like a, gave it some kind of hat. I think this is not particularly good. It is more of a live action art style, but I don't think it's good. So I guess I wouldn't want to use sample size of 1, but I wouldn't want to use this, basically. It doesn't pass the I want to use it test. Neither really does this, by the way. This is the best video so far. All right, let's take another look at these. So this is supposed to be upscaled, which I guess it is. Still not cutting it. So I'm not sure how this upscaling works. You still see the aberration in the hand as it tries to sort of claw. I guess the upscaling doesn't fix that. Third try on the comic book art style seems to be getting closer. And then what about this third try on the anime art style? We're still not having an orange sky, and there's a lot more warping on the character this time. So Pika Labs is kind of flopping, basically. As far as I can tell, Pika Labs is flopping. And Runway, though, is not good with the anime art style. I don't know what's even going on here. It's just like one squirrel stabbing another squirrel with a metal arm. So the takeaway with Runway seems to be like, don't manipulate the art style. Let it do its thing. So I think we can move on. Don't try to manipulate the art style with Runway. Pika Labs is great at adopting the art style. So it's not really, but it's interesting. It's not getting the orange, which is a very basic instruction. So it's not really fair to say that it's bad at instruction following. It's not good at some kinds of instruction following. And I don't know that we've really pinned down the difference there. It's very good at following the instruction on the art style. It also is not showing the monster in the sky, right? Let me remove the word ethereal. Maybe it thinks like the clouds are ethereal. So it's like it thinks that it's doing the thing. Ooh, modify region. We're going to try that out. So let's close this. We're going to do a fresh one that says sky darkens to a burnt orange and a massive monster appears in the sky. We're just going to toss out the word ethereal. Maybe that's throwing things off. So we're going to try that, and then we're going to try editing this one. And I want to do modify region. And I want to like pick the sky. And I want to say burnt orange sky with shadowy figure. Okay. Modify region, very cool feature. I think Runway ML does have a modify region. Now let's go to the image. Okay, so we have, I guess in my downloads, we have this squirrel monster. Let's try them out. Let's go for the squirrel. Let's start with the squirrel that we want. And let's do both. So we'll just do add some motion to it, and then we'll do image plus description. And here we'll say let's say attacks an enormous squirrel monster. Because the picture had sort of already encountered the monster in the picture. Male elven rogue searches for, yeah. It's still not putting the monster in the sky. Even when I didn't use the word ethereal. Okay, let's clear this out and start with, and then this also seems to do video to video, which is pretty cool. Doing the edit region, I said burnt orange sky with shadowy figure. It just added some shade. Just sort of darkened that, like to black, not to orange. Here we are going to upload the, here's the squirrel. And we'll say a warrior with a helmet attacks an enormous squirrel monster. So let's try one with no text. So that's just image to video. And then here with the prompt as well. Chat, let me know if there's something you would like to prompt. Do we have a video here? Okay. Whoa, what's going on, dude? Did the squirrel grow a horn? I kind of want to make an Aria's Tale movie anyway, just to show how bad this stuff is. What are your thoughts on that? Neymar 2011. Hi, what's going on, Neymar? This is awful. Let's see. Say hello to Brazil. Hello, Brazil. Hello, Brazil. So I think there's massive warping and morphing is the big problem. This one is much better. Problem is I don't know which one had the prompt and which didn't. Is this the one that attacks? Reveal prompt. This doesn't seem to have the prompt at all. Hide prompt. Okay. Reveal prompt. Interesting. Okay, so the image and description seems to have done better than the image alone. Let's do one more. We'll say a warrior without a helmet flees an enormous squirrel monster. So that was bad. Here, this will be a 3. Let's see. Do I want to give it a 3 or a 4? Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and give it a 4. What can we do better next time? More movement. I want to see more movement. And let's try to extend this one. Let's see if I can get more of an attack going on if I give it some more time. Chat, let me know if I should do any prompt that you would like to see. This looks pretty good, actually. So this is, okay. So this is taking the image without a prompt. Let's see, can I re-prompt? This is without any prompt. So the Pika Labs image to video without prompt seems to have beat the Runway ML image to video without prompt. Let's do one more just to see if the Runway ML thing was a fluke. Close all of this. We'll do the image alone. Okay. We'll generate 4 seconds. Here was the image with prompt. Here is the flea. You can see he's taking a step back. So he is fleeing. That's great instruction following. The squirrel face revealed teeth. That's kind of weird. I don't think squirrels do that. And that's just like a training set issue, right? So how many squirrel monsters has this ML model seen? And I could even let it fly because the squirrel monster doesn't need to look like just a giant squirrel necessarily. So this is pretty good. You can see it's taking a step back. I'll go with render quality. Really, the only issue is not human anatomy, but animal anatomy. But that's fair enough. This is a potential candidate for real usage as well. Let's try to extend that. Here is the extended attack, I think. And this is no good. And the squirrel's head appears to be coming off. This is no... okay, so this is once again with no supplementary prompt. Yeah, what we're learning here is that Runway ML without the prompt is not very good. That's a really interesting result. How was the result? It was bad. Warping and morphing is the big issue. Something strange is happening by the footer of this video. There's like a shield appearing on the ground. I love it. If I was playing a real campaign, oh, how long did it take you to do this? What's up, Info? Thanks for the likes. To create these videos, what is this specifically? Each of these videos is taking, I would say, about a minute to get ready. Each of them individually. KB, what's up, gang? Throw a like on the video if you're enjoying it. So this is the one where we're fleeing, right? Although notice, in this case, the warrior seems to have a helmet, which is not supposed to be the case. All right, I think we are squirreled out with Runway. So yeah, Pika Labs takes the cake if there is no prompt. And then what about this? This is heavily distorted, isn't it? Just now getting off work, I have had so many PRs this week. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, it's good that you're off work, but is it good or bad that you've had so many PRs? Interesting. So it looks like Pika Labs. Let's try this again. So let's give it some more images that we're just going to ask to animate the image. So we'll give it this one. Okay. We'll give it this one. 2. Pika Labs seems to be better at animating an image without a prompt, without a supplementary prompt. KB says, good means we are making a ton of progress, but a lot of code to go through. I heard you on that. I merged PR for Aria's Tale today. I think I did about 1,000 lines of code. And the game guide is a lot better. I don't know when the last time you saw the game guide was, but here, take a look at this. Aria's Tale.com/game manual. So I think this already looks better. And then we can go to the metagame. I think this looks a lot better. Not only does it look better, but the content is better. So it's like a win-win. All right, so now we're doing just kind of spamming image to video. So let's do the same with Runway. Okay, and we did the squirrel, so we'll do this sort of like dragon thing. Next, we will do whatever this thing is. And then we will do the tower. The Tower of Fire, maybe. I don't know. I just made that up. Or it could just be a view in the afternoon, couldn't it? Could be like a sunlight thing. Could be a temple of the sun. Ooh, check that out. That'd be cool. So here we are looking at the dragon head. No, not ready. It is ready. Why was it not zooming in? And I, for one, think this is very good. I think this is very good. We can see the tree leaves rattling, and the dragon head is not strangely warped. It's maintaining its structure. Everything in the video seems to be maintaining its structure very well. That's really, really good stuff. Okay. Here, again, this looks fucking cool, dude. Not gonna lie. I wonder if I can not have any zoom on this. Consistency with text. Is it possible for me to add an image? So here I want to add the image. And I just kind of want him to bob. And I don't want him to zoom in. Maybe I use that as a negative prompt. Oh, here we go. Zoom. Really, I want to do neither. Interesting. So I can say strength of motion overall, but I can't specifically... say, like, don't zoom. I have to just say, like, don't motion. Let me hit the zoom out. Maybe that's the move. Because the idea here is that I could keep a section like a still, where the guy's sort of floating in place. And I could use that for like a boss encounter. You think of these like Super Nintendo games where the boss is sort of like kind of animated, like a JRPG. He's kind of animated, but he's kind of in the same place. That would be useful. So let's see if I can do one of those. And maybe I can do that by zooming out rather than zooming in. The other thing I might do is try negative prompting on the zoom. E.g. bad, ugly, terrible. Don't be bad. And let's try one with more motion. Whoa, my sister just texted me something wild. All right, we're going to put that to the side for now. Okay, so we're going strength of motion is 2 here. I'm really liking Pika for breathing life into images. Let's reorient ourselves. So this is just the still image animation test. This is very different. And I'm not necessarily mad at it. It feels like someone is holding a video camera or like a camcorder and it's sort of moving around more. It has a more jarring feeling as opposed to Pika Labs has this smoother feeling where it's like this smooth zoom. But arguably this is more appropriate for like this crazy, shocking thing going on. This is quite good in this case. And there's not as much distortion as with the squirrel, although there's some distortion here on the chin. It seems to me it's like a training set problem. I just think that Runway has probably seen more dragons than squirrel monsters. So here, pretty good. We'll still say some slight warping. And what about this one? This one is just really good. Is it just me, or like all of these are moving off to the side? I don't really know the difference between pan and roll. Here, let's do some zoom out. Let's get zoom out on these bad boys. Save that. This was really good. That was a really good one. What about this one? Whoa. It's like shining white light somehow. I mean, that could be cool. Like, I don't know. It looks cool. Let's do that one again, and I want to ask it to pan the camera up to sort of visualize the top of the tower for me. Ooh, here you can interpolate to smooth out the frames. Oh, and it's seated. These are all very useful. All very useful. The motion brush. No, I don't want to do that. So let's see if I can do some tilt. Could be cool. Let's see. Is this one ready? It's almost ready. So we're going back here. What have we done now? Well, let's take a look at this tower. So it doesn't turn the tower sky white. That was strange. It was strange that it went from orange to white. There's a bit of flickering. Maybe that's leaves falling. I don't know. We're seeing zooming again. Maybe that's fine. It does capture these sort of like fine white strains and render the motion as their waterfalls, which is perfect, I think. Now let's up that motion, baby. More motion. And this is interesting. It envisions a white sky above the dark sky. So it's almost like Pika Labs is imagining the floor is lava. and that this is not a burnt orange sky, but rather like some sort of fiery background. That's where you would think the supplementary prompt would help. Okay, the zoom out here goes crazy. This is actually, yeah, this passes the usage test at this point. So let's upscale that. I'll just leave it alone. And here I'll do a boss battle. Let's just say boss battle. And here, let's say orange sky. Maybe to really make it clear, just as minimally as I can, that the sky is orange, not the floor is lava. How about this? This is the one that's panned. We should be looking up. It's not really looking up, is it? It's actually... Did I pick the wrong angle or something? Hopefully that wasn't a user error. Let me take the tilt away and let me increase the vertical movement. Let's generate that. Come back over here. We can play this. It's moving to the left. And there is like this white regression. That's so weird. Like the orange is being purged out. So let's try the image and description again. And here we will say, in a burnt orange sky, a monster appears, a monster speaks to the elven rogue. Let's check that out. I think the lesson we're seeing is Pika is better on just the image, and Runway is better with image and description. This will be our final round of trials. This one says boss battle. Okay, so let's look through all three of these. So first of all, we just have the zoom out. And it zoomed way out. I think maybe I want to use less zoom out. Not bad, though. Not bad at all. Here we say boss battle. No one's attacking anyone. Oh, maybe you can sort of see the elf like get ready to attack at the very end. Not really, though. And then does this maintain an orange sky? I think so. Yeah. So we maintain the orange sky. This one is maybe usable. It does make it look like this elven rogue is on like a cliff's edge, though, which he shouldn't be. Let's try one more time. Let's try reprompt. Orange sky monster and elven rogue in forest. Orange sky monster above elven rogue in forest. How about that? Oh, I think I gave it the text prompt with the wrong image. But this time we do see the camera moving up. No, isn't that strange? It feels like the camera is moving up, but actually it's more like the elf is moving down, we don't really get a view above the top of the tower. That's interesting. So let me wipe this out and add this guy once again. In a burnt orange sky, a monster speaks to the elven rogue. And then here, we can take the vertical away, and we'll do a little bit of zoom out, but just a little, just a little. Cool, and these will be, I think, the final ones. So GPT-4 DALL-E currently does not have video. I think what we are seeing is a workflow where you get your initial image in GPT-4 because it's convenient, because you're gaming right there. You optionally go to a tool like Leonardo to get a better image. Somehow you end up with an image. Maybe you draw the image. Somehow you end up with an image. Then you go to Pika if you don't want to add a prompt, or you go to Runway if you do want to add a prompt. And they both seem to work fairly well. That went really well, but it's still showing the elf on a cliff. Still zooming out very far. Motion control, zoom, strength of motion. Let's go down to a 1. I don't know, whatever. I think we're basically concluded now. Let's see what this last one looks like. Yeah, isn't that strange? A sky monster speaks to the elven rogue. Made it more stable. That's interesting. So I guess the point is use the description, supplementary description, the supplementary text prompt with Runway. Even if it's just something like the monster speaks and that doesn't result in the monster's mouth moving, it somehow like stabilizes the frame, which I totally don't understand. Thanks everyone for being here. I guess we can look at this. How long is that going to take? And it doesn't really matter. We're already concluded. Thanks everyone for being here. Check out ariastale.com, an open source game. You can join the waitlist if you want to play in like an official stream. If you want to do like an unofficial of your own, just check out the quick start and you can see run your own campaign. And then, yeah, you can propose it as canon. Like if you have a killer campaign, it goes really well with your friends. It's like really funny or memorable. You can do a write-up, and it explains basically, you can do a write-up and submit it as a GitHub issue. And we can enshrine that as canon. That's something that you can't do with your other favorite fantasy franchise, you know? All right, we made it. So let's take a look. This is in the Motion 1 zoom out. We're still on a cliff. That's okay. See you next time.